Just kidding. Okay, it's 4:05, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So hi guys, thank you guys for coming. So you guys know what the deal is. So we're gonna do this meditation led by Sunee Leclaire. So she is one of my good friends from New York. She owns a yoga studio in Brooklyn, and she does all type of awesome yoga classes, and she's actually a jack of all trades. She does a little bit of everything. She does dresses, she does suits, she does teaching, she does it all. So she's awesome. And so she's gonna lead us in this meditation today. If you have any questions, just drop them in the chat throughout, and we will yeah, we'll check in and make sure to get your questions answered at some point. But keep yourself on mute. Again, if you have any questions, just drop it in the chat, and then we'll go from there. All right, go ahead, Sunee, do your thing.
It's so lovely to see all of you on screen today. Thank you, Simone, for the intro. Yes, my name is Sunee Leclaire, and I am a Jane of all trades. It's true. I have done many things and lived in many places in my life. And the latest iteration of my life is running a
That was my fault. You're back on, Sunee.
Okay, good. And just so you guys know, I'll tell you a little bit about the situation. I have you guys on my iPad on a camera, but I have a computer right below that, so I can see all of your beautiful faces as well. So if you see me looking down, I'm actually looking at you. And I'm really delighted that Simone asked me to lead this. I think now, even more than ever, but it's always true that the world can really use a lot more mindfulness, yoga, meditation, and all things thus. And there just seems to be an extra heightened level of stress, and it continues to grow every single day in today's world. So I'm gonna guide you through some meditations, as well as some breathing exercises, pranayamas, that you can take into lots of various situations with you to help you just calm down the nervous system, de-stress, learn to deal with all of the things that life is throwing at you under these extraordinary circumstances, but also just like people might be throwing at you under normal circumstances, because we're dealing with it all right now. And I didn't know how much experience the group in general had with yoga, so I'm going to do like a very quick introduction to the idea of yoga. The word yoga in Sanskrit means union, and the idea of that union is multifold. It's unifying your mind and your body. It's unifying your spirit with the spirit at large and your larger community. And yoga is a very ancient discipline that has been translated many times in many cultures and many places. And for some reason, the current iteration of yoga that seems to be very popular in America right now is like the Lululemon, like hot yoga vision, right? That's what we see in movies or TV. But that vision has very little to do with traditional yoga. Traditionally, in yoga, the physical poses that we know fairly well from modern media is the way in which we train the body to sit for meditation. And so originally yoga was only seated poses, and the intention was just to get you to sit long enough to meditate. That's it. That was the whole purpose of yoga, is like, now you can sit down longer because your body is trained to do so. And right now, with most people working, learning remote, we're sitting a lot, right? So maybe sitting in yoga meditation today, like I'm sitting on a meditation cushion and cross-legged because I'm used to that, but that may not work for you. So I'm going to encourage us to take just a minute to get set up in circumstances that really work for you today before we get started. So I see quite a few people in a chair, on a couch. That's perfect. The only thing I would say about that is you might decide not to relax with your back all the way back on the couch or on the chair, and just sitting up a little bit more clearly so that we can get a little bit more breath flow. So if you engage the neutral curves of your spine in your seat, in your chair, on your couch, on the floor, it doesn't matter where you're sitting, as long as you can make sure your breath is really capable of flowing in and out. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is, right towards the end of the work I'm going to do, and before we go into questions, I have a couple of poses that are also really relaxing, restorative yoga poses. And one of them is to place your legs either up the wall or on a chair or your couch. So lying down with your back on the floor will be one of them. And then you can always place your legs straight up the wall, or you can just place your legs on a chair or on the couch. And of course, these are all voluntary. If that's not for you, no big deal. And the other one is a supported child's pose. So I have a meditation cushion that I'm sitting on right now. If you have a couch cushion or any bed pillow, whatever it is that you have, we can use that to support in one of those restorative poses that we'll get to at the end. So we are going to start today with setting an intention. And in Sanskrit, that's known as a sankalpa. An intention is a short, positive statement. And it often can start with, I will or I am. So I'll ask everyone who's collected with us now to just take a moment to think about something positive, to create a short statement for yourself that we'll come back to throughout these meditations and breathing exercises. There's a very famous yogic one in the yogic world that is, I am loving awareness. But I find that to be maybe a little bit too broad, maybe a little bit too wishy-washy. So another example that could be much simpler is, I am grateful. Or I will be present. Whatever really works for you in this moment, in this time. And then once you've had the opportunity to create that simple, positive statement, your intention, we're going to come into our first breathing exercise. And this is known as abdominal breathing. It's one of the most relaxing ways to control your breath. And we'll do it sitting up, but you can create this abdominal breath for yourself in any position. You could be lying down on your back. You could be lying down on your stomach. Doesn't really matter. It's pretty accessible from any position. And to tap into that, I'll just ask you to bring your fingertips so that they're very lightly resting on your abdomen. You can kind of relax your arms down there. And we're going to do that so that we can bring attention to our breath coming right into the belly here. We'll begin by exhaling everything out. Get all the way to empty. And then as you inhale, you're going to blow your belly up like a little balloon, just like a little baby sleeping on their back, pushing all that air right into your belly. Exhale, very, very slowly allow that air to escape, like you had just let go of that balloon and all the air is coming out by its own force. Inhale, breathing right into the abdomen. Feel that belly just expand. Exhale, release. Inhaling, allowing the belly to expand. On the exhale, see if you can make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. Feel free to keep your eyes closed here or just let your gaze go unfocused as you pay attention to your breath moving into and out of your abdomen. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, release. Let's do that 2 more times. A nice deep abdominal breath, breathing into the abdomen. Exhale, let it go. 1 more. Go ahead and let your arms fall down by your side. So an abdominal breath is a really nice way to just kind of slow yourself down. If you feel yourself getting frustrated, you can just take a moment to yourself, take a few abdominal breaths, let everything go. From there, we'll move into a little bit more of an advanced technique of a pranayama, a breath technique. And it's called Nadi Shodhana. It's an alternate nostril breath. To do this one, lift up your right hand, and then you'll bring your pointer finger and your middle finger down with your other 3 fingers, thumb and 2 fingers sticking up. So we're going to take the right thumb and place it on top of your right nostril. Go ahead and plug it up. We're going to do alternating nostril breathing from here. Sounds pretty funny when I do that. Talking, trying to do this at the same time. We're going to inhale through the left nostril. And then you'll take your ring finger, plug up your left nostril, exhale out your right nostril. Inhale from the right nostril. And then plug that right nostril with your right thumb. Exhale through the left. Inhale on the left side. Switch. Exhale on the right. Inhale right. Switch. Exhale left. Let's do one more round. Inhale left. Switch. Exhale right. Inhale right. Switch. Exhale left. From there, you can float that hand down. Take a moment to recover. That nadi shodhana, our alternate nostril breathing, is great for lowering stress and improving cardiovascular function. Lowering the heart rate is a great way to bring yourself into check if you feel really stressed out, especially if it's because other people are bugging you. So our nervous system is comprised of two parts. We have the autonomic nervous system that has the sympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight response. So every time you feel challenged, you feel your heart rate start to go up, you get really sweaty. That's your fight or flight response, reacting to some perceived danger. And then we have the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's your rest and digest response. So that's what bringing your heart rate down, restoring your body to a sense of calm. That's the state you go into as you prepare to go to sleep every night. And as you begin to work into these meditations and pranayamas, breath exercises, you can start to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system to help you de-stress, deregulate. One of the main pathways that we have in the parasympathetic nervous system is called the vagus nerve. And it is connected to the vocal cords at the back of your throat. So singing, humming, and chanting, or even gargling, are ways that you can activate those muscles that tap right into that vagus nerve and stimulates that rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system reaction to really calm yourself down both physically and mentally. So the next breathing exercise I have for you is one that taps right into the vagus nerve. It's called a bee's breath or a Bharami pranayama. And this one sometimes can feel a little bit odd when you first start it. And I'll show you two different hand movements that go with it. The first one is to plug your ears with your thumbs, but don't do it yet because then you won't be able to hear me. And to bring your hands over on top of your face. Personally, I don't love to have my hands on top of my face for various reasons. So instead of doing the traditional plugging the ears with the thumbs and bringing my hands to touch my face, I just plug my ears with my middle fingers as we move into that breath. And then the breath is to inhale through the nose, and you will exhale through the nose, but you will make a humming sound in the throat, in the back of the throat, creating a vibration. That sounds a lot like a bee's hum when we do it. So to prepare that, if you need to move around a little bit in between, go ahead and do that. I'll switch sides with my legs. And then deciding if you'd like to take the traditional stance of plugging the cartilage right in front of your ears just down with your thumb and placing the hands on top of your face, or just pressing that little cartilage in with your middle fingers. You're not sticking your hands in your ears, you're just pressing the cartilage in to close off your ears a little bit. And then with a deep breath in through the nose, exhaling, begin to start making that bee's breath humming sound. And we'll continue like that, inhaling in through the nose. Exhale, hum it out. We'll do 3 more rounds. Take a big inhale through your nose. So the Barami's bee's breath is a breath that can really help calm yourself and center yourself. Not one I usually recommend doing in the middle of a busy meeting when things have gotten off the rails. But you can go to the bathroom, take a moment for yourself, create that moment for you to really recenter, refocus there, stimulate that vagus nerve to bring your stress hormones back down. From here, we're going to work into some meditations. So there's many different types of meditation. We have guided meditation, silent meditations, there's mantric meditations. And when I first started studying yoga and meditation, I will admit very freely that meditation, I just figured it wasn't for me. I didn't like it. I didn't understand it. I think it's very common for people to think that meditation is trying to empty your mind, and my mind just would never get to empty. I felt like a failure at meditation for a really long time. And then I had a wonderful teacher who helped me reframe the idea behind a silent meditation. And the idea is that instead of trying to empty your mind, instead of trying to erase, I always would visualize the blackboard of full of my thoughts and trying to erase that. And it never worked. They always would start filling up again. So instead of trying to do that, you give yourself one simple thing to think about. And this is where your intention comes back in. I am, or I will. Focusing on that helps to allow the other thoughts to pass by. But this is where the key that came in for me, from my teacher. She said, your thoughts will come, and you are not in direct control of them. And that's okay. Kindly allow the thoughts to come, and then equally as kindly allow them to leave. You wave hello to them. Nice to see you, thoughts. It's time for you to move on now. And every time that happens, and it may happen continuously throughout a silent meditation, but every time that happens, you have the same reaction. Oh, I'm thinking about something other than my intention. That's cool. I'll make note of it and I'll stick it in the closet for when I'm done with this meditation, and then just go back to your intention. So that there's no judgment on those thoughts. They just are. And we kindly say hello to them, and then kindly usher them to wait for us until later. So we'll try a 5-minute silent meditation here. Start by getting yourself comfortable enough to sit still for 5 minutes. And then bring back to mind that intention, that simple positive thought, I am or I will. And with that explanation in mind, bringing yourself constantly back to that sankalpa, to that intention. Whatever comes, comes. That's okay. Just let it continue to flow by and bring yourself back to your intention. Go ahead and close your eyes. Bring your intention to the forefront of your mind. Bring your attention to your breath. Slowly begin to flutter your eyelids open. Bringing your consciousness back to the present moment. We're going to move from that silent meditation into getting a little bit into our restorative yoga poses now. Give ourselves a chance to move around. So the first one is a supported inversion pose. And inversions in yoga are used to create a change in perspective. And sometimes that's exactly what we need these days. Change how we're looking at whatever problem it is that we're working on. And it also changes up the blood flow a little bit. So you'll work into this pose as your environment sees fit. I see people on couches, I see people on chairs. You could, if you have space to lie on the ground and do this, have at it. It's called legs up the wall. And what it looks like when you're on the floor is to go ahead and lay down on the floor relatively close to the wall and allow your heels to rest on the wall. It could be at any angle, reversing the blood flow here. If you want to lay down on the ground and have your legs sit up on the seat of your chair, you can do that. Or you can lie, they could be on the seat of your couch as well. If you have a couch where you can actually lay on the part of the couch that you sit on and take your legs up the back of the couch, that works too. Anything where you're kind of creating that L shape to reverse the blood flow there. If you have some neck sensitivity, you could always put a pillow underneath your head. And we'll take about 90 seconds here to really allow the effects of the pose to be felt. It takes at least a minute and a half for you to really feel into it. So we'll give it that time, allowing it to go into reverse blood flow, calming down, cooling down. And once again here, working with a short mantra. And the one I will suggest for this pose is a very simple one. Inhale, exhale. And you can say the words to yourself as you breathe in and out, or just feel into the effects of your body as you bring air into your lungs and as you let it escape. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, slowly start to unwind, walking your feet down the wall, bending your knees, rolling over to one side. Rest there for just a moment, and we'll come back up to set up for our next restorative yoga pose. So for a restorative child's pose, supportive child's pose, I'm going to use my meditation cushion But you could use a couch cushion or a pillow from your bed or anything else nice and soft here. If you don't have anything today, you can also do this without the support, and you'll know how to do this for yourself when you do have something to support. So we'll come to kneeling here, and you're gonna bring your knees pretty wide apart from each other. Your big toes come to touch behind you here to set up for the base of child's pose. From here, we're gonna lay our upper body on top of this cushion or pillow or whatever it is that you have, and you can actually just kind of hug it to you as you bring your upper body down onto that mat. So this is known as child's pose because it's something that kids frequently do, and you see little kids like in their cribs, they just are all curled up like a little bug. So having something here to support you means that you don't have to stress out your neck or your head if it doesn't come down to the floor. You can place your cheek on it. I'm looking to the side so I can see you guys, but you can place your forehead down on your pillow or your blanket or whatever it is that you have to support you. And again, this is an opportunity to really change perspective, to go inside for yourself so that you can block out the rest of the world here. It's like creating a little bit of a cocoon or a shell for yourself. So once again, not something you probably do in the middle of, a meeting or school or the office, but something that you can do when you get home to really change up any feelings of stress and tension. Give yourself a little bit of a break. Allowing yourself this comfort, this physical pose, so that you can tap into that parasympathetic nervous response. Let your body naturally de-stress and let go. And if it was useful to you in the legs up the wall pose, you can also come back to that very simple repetition of following the breath. Inhale, exhale. Very slowly begin to make your way out of your supported child's pose. Coming back to find any comfortable seated position. Go ahead and shake your legs or your arms out if that feels good. And then for my final guided meditation, I'm going to take you guys through a relaxation exercise that I've done many, many times in many different circumstances. And one of the ones that was most impressive to me was with a group of volunteers who had someone lead this guided meditation at the beginning of a meeting. And I was really impressed with this because it put everyone into a relaxed state. And so it made conducting business in the meeting much easier. Everyone was calmer at the very outset of it. So I'm going to do that guided meditation, and then I'm going to tack on to the end of that meditation a guiding light meditation that I really love, that really helps me personally to keep perspective as I'm operating in the world and help me remember what's truly important for me. And so it'll all be in the same meditation, but it'll have two kind of different themes as I'm talking you through it. So I invite you for this meditation to get as relaxed as you possibly can. That might mean lying on the floor in a traditional Shavasana shape where you just kind of just lie on the floor and let everything hang out. You can absolutely do this sitting up in a chair or on the couch. Any of those things fly, however you are comfortable, so long as you're prepared to sit for, I would say, about 7 minutes through the guiding of this meditation. So take the time to make sure you have everything that you need. If you want to have a sip of water beforehand, go ahead and do that too. And then I'll invite you to go ahead and close your eyes throughout this meditation. But if having your eyes closed is triggering for you for any reason, you can always just kind of loosen your gaze and let your vision go unfocused, so that you take away the visual stimuli from your field, even if your eyes aren't closed. And from that place, I invite you to tap into your breath. Inhale. Exhale. On your next exhale, feel the muscles of your big toe relax. Allow the rest of your toes to relax. Feel the top of your foot begin to relax. The sole of your foot coming to relaxation. Let go of any tension in your ankles. Feel the loosening of the muscles of your calves. Allow your shins to relax. Feel the sensation of relaxation moving up into your knees. Allow your thighs to relax. Allow any tightness in your hips to relax. Bring the feeling of relaxation into your low back. Relax your abdomen. Feel your rib cage relax. Allow the space at the top of your chest to relax. Shoulders relax. Feel your upper arms begin to melt into relaxation. Relax your elbows. Relax your forearms. Relax the palms of your hands. Relax the back of your hands. Feel the feeling of relaxation spread to your thumbs. Relax all of your fingers. Relax the muscles at the front of your neck. Relax the back of your neck. Allow your jaw to relax. Relax the muscles around your mouth. Relax your nose. Relax your cheeks. Relax the muscles around your eyes. Relax the place of your third eye in between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. Relax the back of your head. Relax the crown of your head. Feel your whole body in a state of relaxation. Without opening your eyes or changing anything else about the rest of your position, bring your two hands forward in front of you, allowing your right fingertips to meet your left fingertips, but keeping space in between your palms. In that space in between your palms, envision a glowing orb of light. The light is the color of whatever your favorite color is, or maybe multiple colors. And from that light, you feel a very soft, warm heat emanating. The feeling you receive from this light is a positive feeling of joy, lightness, gratitude, or whatever other positive emotion that you would like to have more of in your life in this moment. And as you observe your light, notice that the light begins to grow. The light begins to extend through the spaces between your fingers. the light begins to emanate from this place and grow up your arms, making its way towards your heart. When the light reaches your heart, it continues to expand to fill your entire being. Envision yourself as this beautiful, glowing orb. And then imagine that your light continues to grow, shining through your skin and reaching out to the people near you. When your light reaches out for that person, they begin to become that light. The light continues to grow to encompass everyone in the room, in the building, on the block, in the neighborhood. And each person that this light touches continues to spread this positive attribute to the next, until your light encompasses the entire city, the country, the continent, and the world. From there, fold your two palms to touch in front of you, bringing your hands at prayer position to tuck your thumbs right up against your sternum. Bowing your hands down in towards those your chin down in towards those prayer hands. Taking a breath collectively here, go ahead and exhale everything out. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in each of you. It has been my pleasure to guide you through this meditation. Namaste. Take your time to slowly make your way out. And as you do so, I will prepare for some questions and answers. I would love to hear how that felt for you guys, what your experience with meditation and yoga is prior to this, and if you have any other things you're curious about. You can just unmute yourself and do popcorn style.
I could have just turned it.
So I used to do a regular yoga practice, and it has been a while, and I hadn't realized how exhausting the breathing could be when you haven't done it in a while. It's one of those, like, you have to work up to being able to do that without just like needing to yawn, right? Like being exhausted by breathing. Okay.
Yeah. That is absolutely true. Yes. The breath work is pretty interesting to me because we don't pay much attention to how we're breathing in real life. Like, it's just not something most people focus much on. And then once you kind of turn that vision on and start to analyze your breath patterns, you come up with some pretty fascinating information pretty quickly. But yeah, yoga is always referred to as a practice because you know, when you fall out of it or when you first come to it, you have to go back to it again and again and again to really feel like you can, I hate to say master it, but, you know, like have, you know, some influence. But it changes over time. So the more often that you do it, the easier it then becomes. And I would say also, like, I don't think I know a single yogi who hasn't had some period of their life where they're falling in and out of yoga. That is super common. I run a studio, and it's a neighborhood studio, so people all the time coming to me, oh, I'm so sorry I haven't been there. I'm so sorry. Like, don't apologize to me. Like, apologize to your lower back. Like, this is just, I don't care. It's fine, right? Like, you're the one missing out. Don't apologize to me. I'm fine. How did you guys find silent meditation?
I thought it was interesting when you said how meditation's not about clearing the mind, so it is about, letting the thoughts come and just not attaching to them, and maybe restating an affirmation. That kind of resonates with me, because I feel like when I go to meditate, I really can't clear my mind. The best I can do is just, accept the thoughts and let them go.
Yeah, that was the game changer for me. I could not meditate until a teacher very simply reframed it for me that way. I always just was like, no, this is terrible. Why would you do this? Why is anyone doing this?
Hi, sorry, I don't have my video on, but I wanted to piggyback off that too. I've always felt like a failure in meditation, and that was such a much more relaxing experience. It was almost like it was for me, as opposed to I owed it to someone else to not think about anything. That's such a mind game, and this feels like a much more productive way to do it at work too, because then you're not spiraling, you're just allowing yourself to focus on even just one thing. So thank you so much. It was really, really relaxing.
Oh, I'm so glad you feel that way. And what you just said, oh, wow, that really resonates with me. I don't think I had ever put it into those words where I felt like a failure at meditation because I thought I was